What's up, brothers and sisters? Shane here. I told you in a couple videos back anyway, that I'd share some of my medals and some of the stuff from the military. So I want to keep my word on that. This stuff's really important to me, obviously. Um, but anyway, I'll get to it. This should be pretty short anyway. This obviously is my boot camp division back in 2003. I joined the Navy in 2002, shortly after 9/11. Very patriotic times in this country. Really meant a lot to serve, and the country was definitely behind us, and it was an amazing feeling. But anyway, this is me right here. But my RDC is my drill instructor is Chief Dean, HM1. She made Chief while I was there. Shoot, I can't remember her last name. And then I had HT1 Folger. Real good dude. This Chief is E7 in the Navy. After we had graduated boot camp, a few of us had to stick back until we could go to our A school. And he actually did the worm. He did the worm in that uniform in our boot camp division. It was awesome, man. Really good dude. From boot camp, went on to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. This is my A school class. I was a Master at Arms, basically U.S. Navy law enforcement, force protection. Right after 9/11, they took in we used to have Marine Corps, because the Marines are a department of the Navy. So the Marines used to do most of the Navy security. But after 9/11, of course, the Marines were needed, and they started training a lot more Master at Arms. And I was in one of those major groups that went through. But here I am here. What a striking, handsome young man, eh? This is just a fun picture. It's kind of old, but that was my boot camp division, pretty close to graduation there. I'm holding the sign in the front. The picture's a bit damaged, as you can see. HT1 Folgers behind me. That's all the boys just kind of being goofy. They let us be goofy in that picture, so we all had our hats on sideways or whatnot. But I went through boot camp in Great Lakes when we had the old school barracks. So anybody that's in the Navy has gone through recently will probably not recognize these barracks. They were the old school barracks, man. No AC, barely had heat, and same barracks my father went to when he was in the Navy, actually. Exact same building. The exact same building, because they came to my graduation, and he's like, dude, this is the same ship I was in the 70s. So I liked it like that, man. Though it made it feel authentic, you know what I mean? This is just some of my ribbons. I don't have my rocker from Greece. I was also stationed in Suda Bay, Crete, Greece for a time. But that's my rocker from my dress uniform for Naval Support Activity Naples, Italy, where I was stationed for just over 2 years. My ribbons there, you get National Defense, and you go by the most important ribbon to the least important ribbon. That's how it works in the military. But you get National Defense, basically, because I joined the military during wartime. That was given to us in boot camp, actually, for joining during wartime. The one to the right of that is the GWAT, Global War on Terrorism Service. That was given because of the global war on terrorism and being a member of the military during that conflict. Next one is Overseas Service Ribbon. It's not sea service. I was not stationed on a ship. I was for a very brief times on a few missions of mine, which I'll get into here in a second, but that is overseas service. I was stationed my entire enlistment overseas. I was in, like I said, Suda Bay, Crete, Greece for a year, and I did the rest of my enlistment in Naples, Italy. The next ribbon over, so that's what the star's for anyway. You get, I think it's 1 year and then a star, or you get the star after 3 years. I don't remember how it worked actually, but The star in the middle of that is because I had consecutive overseas tours. Ribbon to the right of that is expert rifleman. So it's a Navy marksman rifleman ribbon. The E in the middle of it is expert. That is the highest you can score. It doesn't get any higher than expert. To the right of that is the 9mm Beretta M9 service pistol ribbon. The S in the middle of that ribbon there stands for sharpshooter. So I was above, I didn't make expert on the pistol, but right underneath that is sharpshooter, and I was able to score sharpshooter. So my expert rifleman sharpshooter, 9mm. And those are the corresponding medals that go with some of the ribbons. Not every ribbon has a medal, but that's the National Defense Medal, the War on Terrorism Service Medal, and the Expert Rifleman, United States Navy. That is the crow, my third class petty officer crow that I wore on my BDU cover. Because I was a Master at Arms, we wore camis, so we didn't wear regular Navy uniform that you would think of. And back then, when I was in, at least, we were in woodland camis, the old school. We wore the 8-point cover, like the Marine Corps. That's just an ID badge from Naples, from Italy. Military police. Got my name there. Security. That's back in 2007. So I was right before I was about to get out. This was actually said to be after I got out of the Navy, but basically it's a citation because I was on special teams of sort. So this is from Commander Naval Task Force 68, U.S. Naval Station, Rota, Spain. We would fly all of our weapons. It was on a 12-man team. We'd fly our crew serve weapons, C-130s from Naples, Italy, out to Rota, Spain. Get drunk on the beach in Rota, Spain, go to a couple brothels, do some, normal Navy shit for a week while we waited for the ship to come in. These are huge supply ships that we would board. They did not have their own weapons. They were run by Mobile Sea Lift Command, so civilian-run supply ships. These things were loaded to the brim with tanks, helicopters. We had one we had 101st Airborne Division on board, all of their equipment, and we were protecting all of this with 12 men. I was one of those men. But it does say, but like I said, Commander Naval Special Task Force, Europe, U.S. Naval Station, Rota, Spain, takes pleasure in commending Master at Arms, 3rd Class, Shane J. Palmer, United States Navy, for service as set forth in the following citation. For superior performance of duty as an embarked security force team member, Security Department, U.S. Naval Support Activity, Naples, Italy, assigned to Commander Task Force 68 from June 2005 to March 2006. Petty Officer Palmer deployed on 2 missions in support of Operation Vigilant Mariner, protecting United States naval ships and military Sea Lift Command vessel assets transiting through the Straits of Gibraltar. Conducted vital physical security and anti-terrorism force protection operations for port visits and anchor details, which ensured the safety of 2 vessels, military and civilian personnel attached to the ships. His knowledge of shipboard security and abilities directly contributed to the safe transit of cargo necessary to continue the global war on terrorism and Operations Iraqi and Enduring Freedom without incident. Petty Officer Palmer's initiative, perseverance, and loyal devotion to duty reflected great credit upon himself and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. Captain U.S. Navy K.J. Kaiser, CTF 68. So, yeah, that's just some of the stuff anyway. I told you that I'd share some of that. I'm not like a combat vet, you know what I mean? I was behind a M60 machine gun, protecting huge ships full of billions of dollars worth of equipment. This is after the USS Cole bombing, and a lot of stuff to do, with the pirates, especially near the Straits of Gibraltar, off the coast of Africa. So that's what I did, basically. Protected my shipmates on base when I was not on missions, but when my team was called up to go on these missions for Operation Vigilant Mariner, like I said, we would pack up all our gear. We had some pretty high-speed gear, pack it all up, get on board a C-130, man, fly out to Spain and jump on that boat and protect everybody on it and protect all the equipment that was in it. We would get to Ceuta Bay, Crete, so we'd basically sail from Spain through the Straits of Gibraltar into the Mediterranean and into Ceuta Bay, where I had previously been stationed, so it was kind of cool for me to go back a couple times. We would get there, we would spend a few days in Greece, and another team would relieve us and continue with the ship right straight through to the Gulf, the Persian Gulf. But yeah, this is some stuff that I'm very proud of, and I wanted to share with you guys. So thanks for listening.